A trio of Sahelian nations, all under military leadership since 2020, is eyeing a bold move towards a new political and monetary alliance. Niger's General Abdourahmane Tiani dropped this bombshell during a recent TV interview, hinting at plans for a groundbreaking shift away from the familiar CFA franc with the aim of reclaiming economic sovereignty and forging stronger regional ties. You see, these nations have formed what they're calling the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, envisioning a future beyond mere defense cooperation. And it's not just talk, either. Finance ministers from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have already put their heads together, proposing the establishment of a joint committee to explore this daring idea further. They're talking about joint investment banks and stabilization funds. Now, before we get too carried away with visions of a currency revolution, let's address the elephant in the room, the CFA franc. Ah yes, the currency pegged to the euro, criticized as a relic of colonialism, is now facing its potential demise in West Africa. Our military-led trio isn't just shaking things up for the sake of it. They're flexing their political muscles, pushing back against the regional heavyweight, ECOWAS, and its democratic demands. Sanctions, frozen assets, withdrawal of ambassadors, you name it, they've faced it. And now, they're saying, enough is enough. So, what's next for these rebellious Sahelian states? Will they successfully break free from the shackles of the CFA franc and forge a new path towards economic autonomy? Or will they face further isolation and uncertainty in the ever-changing landscape of West African politics? Join me as we unravel the twists and turns of this gripping saga, where currencies collide, alliances are tested, and the Sahel states stand at the brink of a historic decision. This, my friends, is geopolitics in action. Let's dive in. Background information. Now, let's rewind the clock to 1945. Imagine a world emerging from the shadows of World War II, where France, the colonial powerhouse of West Africa, faced economic challenges. In a bid to stabilize its economy, France introduced the CFA franc, not just in West Africa but also in its other colonies. Why the fancy name? Well, CFA stands for Colonies Françaises d'Afrique, reflecting its origins in the French colonial era. This currency wasn't just about financial convenience, it was a tool for post-war reconstruction and economic control. For instance, the fixed exchange rate essentially, it meant that the value of the CFA franc was tied to the French franc, providing stability but also tethering these West African economies to the whims of their former colonial master. Now, fast forward to the present day, and you'll see a mixed bag of reactions to the CFA franc. Some hail it as a stabilizing force, facilitating trade and investment, while others cry foul, citing a lack of economic autonomy and French control. Recent rumblings from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger suggest that change could be on the horizon. These nations are eyeing the exit door, seeking to ditch the CFA franc in favor of a new single currency. These Sahelian states want to chart their own course, free from the shackles of colonial legacies. However, France's recent announcement to end its involvement in the West African CFA franc adds another twist to the tale, but this trio states it wants to divorce from the currency as soon as yesterday. Rationale for a new single currency. The three Sahelian nations of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, bound by a shared vision of sovereignty and economic empowerment, are contemplating a bold move. They're eyeing the exit door of the CFA franc club and envisioning a future where they call the shots when it comes to their currency. But why the sudden urge for change? Well, dear viewers, it's all about reclaiming control. You see, for years, the CFA franc has been pegged to the euro, effectively tying the economic fate of these nations to that of France. But now they're saying enough is enough. By ditching the CFA franc and embracing a new single currency, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are aiming for increased sovereignty and economic flexibility. No longer will they have to dance to the tune of French monetary policy. Instead, they'll have the freedom to chart their own economic course. However, this process won't happen overnight. As Soli Hassain from the community of Sahel-Saharan states rightly pointed out, creating a new currency takes time. We're talking years of careful planning, negotiation, and implementation. Challenges and considerations. One of the biggest challenges facing this currency transition is the potential isolation of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger from the broader West African Monetary Union. You see, abandoning the familiar CFA franc could create rifts with other member states, further complicating economic relations and trade dynamics. And let's not forget the elephant in the room, the CFA franc itself. Despite its critics labeling it as a relic of colonialism, it's been the backbone of these nations' economies for decades. Breaking away from this currency could unleash a wave of uncertainty and volatility in the financial markets. In addition, political cooperation and regional dynamics also loom large on the horizon. You see, forging a new currency requires not just economic alignment but also strong political will and cooperation among member states. And let's not forget the Sahel region's tumultuous history of political instability and military coups. Any hiccup in the political landscape could send shockwaves through the currency transition process, derailing even the best-laid plans. Impact on regional dynamics. First off, let's talk economic muscle. These three nations collectively constitute over 30% of the GDP of the West African Economic and Monetary Union, WEMU. With substantial resource deposits at their disposal, including gold, uranium, and cotton, they hold significant sway over regional economic dynamics. But by breaking away from the WEMU and the CFA franc, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are not just shaking up their own economies, they're also sending shockwaves through regional institutions. Their departure could prompt a re-evaluation of economic alliances and strategies among neighboring states. Now, let's talk logistics. Establishing a new currency isn't just a walk in the park. It requires robust technological and technical infrastructure, something that the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, may currently lack. Plus, navigating differences in development, fiscal systems, and economic structures among these nations is no small feat. But amidst these challenges lies a glimmer of hope. The departure of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, signals a firm commitment to retaining autonomy and pursuing their own agendas. This could pave the way for a recalibration of regional dynamics and a renewed focus on sovereignty. However, let's not overlook the hurdles ahead. Winning over public opinion and international investors, especially in a region plagued by governance issues, will be paramount. Plus, the loss of certain advantages provided by the WEMU, such as the unlimited convertibility of the CFA franc, could pose significant challenges. Case studies of other regions or countries that have transitioned to a single currency. Let's kick things off with a classic example, the European Union and its adoption of the euro. Back in 1999, several European countries bid adieu to their national currencies and embraced the euro, creating a unified monetary system. Fast forward to today, and the euro has become a symbol of economic integration and stability, facilitating seamless trade and travel across borders. So, what can the Sahel states learn from the European experience? Well, for starters, communication is key. The European Union invested heavily in public awareness campaigns and education to ensure citizens understood the benefits of the euro. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger can take a page from this playbook and prioritize transparent communication with their own citizens about the advantages of a new single currency. Overall, transitioning to a new currency won't be without bumps in the road, but with careful planning and cooperation, these Sahelian nations can weather the storm and emerge stronger than ever. So, what are your thoughts on this intriguing topic? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking content.